So here is another one of those pools, I guess you could say. And it's leading me to believe, and I had read that this could be used for water or some kind of create or to create a pool of water. You can see that one thing that I've noticed are these drains over here. Just right here, there's a drain right there. And you can see that when it would rain, so the rain would come and then they would cover these holes, and this pool or and then this area would become a pool. So there's a drain here, and there is also a drain over here, just right around here. There is a drain right there. And I remember when I went to Mexico, they have something similar to this where the folks create some kind of elevated space so that it can fill up during the rain or maybe during the seasonal changes. The Aztecs actually used something like this where the water was filled up and then they could see the reflection of the stars. But there's the drain right there. Very interesting how they were able to come up with that system to create some type of water based area to fill up the pool. So that's very interesting. So at some point this became a large body of water filled up, and they were able to create some kind of ritual or some kind of activity. So I only see two drains, one over there and one right here. The architecture is very beautiful. It's not pristine as it would be in day one, but just the remnants of it is very beautiful. So again, this is another one of those pools or large body of water area. You can see there are drains just right there and right there. And I don't know where else there is a drain, but just those two locations, 1 and 2. So the water fills up and then they can release it. And I don't know what else they would do here. But now I want to see the opposite side of where that drain exits. Let's see if I can find a way to get there. Let's see if there's an opening to that drain. Well, can't really see it from here, but I'm guessing the water would spew out this way. I'll have to go down there and check it out. So here are some statues that have been broken or not repaired yet. But one interesting thing is that there is red on these statues. You can see the red on there. Not sure what that is. I've heard different things. I've heard it's could be paint, but not sure. You can see the red pigment there. And then here, and then here, and then here, then over here on the hands. And even on the back too. Wow. And there's a Buddha up there with a golden robe. Very beautiful. Wow. One of the interesting things I saw here was Sanskrit. It's written here. Just, I'm not sure what all this says, but the language is, or the writing is very beautiful. Wow. It's interesting how they were able to carve this into this particular stone. Not sure what they used, but it almost doesn't look very fine. It looks like there are some edges that are blunted in a way, so it must have been inscribed the hard way. Doesn't look uniform, as what I'm trying to say. But this part does look uniform, and for whatever reason, it seems like this was imposed. It feels like something like this was later imposed. It just sees, I just see like the line right here. Just doesn't seem like this was done at the same time. And this definitely looks much more uniform. Different shapes. And there's the writing right there. Sanskrit writing. So now it's time to head down, and the view to head down is a little bit scary, but no worries. Just have to hold on to this guardrail right here, but take a look at that. But yeah, it's very high. Some people say don't look down, right? But wow, just incredible to see folks coming in. People are excited. Just a very beautiful here. Wow, that is very steep. Just very steep going down, and you can see that there are stairs here. There are stairs here that just didn't quite seem to be a good fit for people to climb up. So you can see that they built this staircase.
Oh my god.
Yeah, definitely be careful when you're going down. Honestly, I like to walk sideways. That way it's a little bit safer, just one by one, just like this. And then I hold on to the rail from my back. Or maybe I can do this. I don't know. Whichever way you feel safer, it's good enough. Just step by step. Definitely don't want to have an accident here, right? Just take it easy. Slowly but surely, right? Ooh. I don't know why, but these stairs seem very small. At least when I step onto them, they just seem very small. Just side by side, just like this. It's kind of how I feel the most comfortable. All right, one more. Boom. There it is. So there's the staircase, and folks are climbing up. Just be careful because these steps are very small. Just take a look at that, just how small it is. Doesn't seem more than a foot long. So if you're long-footed, it's gonna probably be a little bit weird just to step down, but their line is getting long to climb up the stairs or to visit the temple. So that's why I wanted to come early, so that when I came earlier, there was no line. So that was really cool. No need to wait, but now there are folks waiting, and it's just something that you never know how long that line is going to be. Maybe just a few minutes or a little bit longer, but something to take note of. Wow. There are more hallways here. And one of the things I also learned as I was here is that they had nets on the top of some of these temples, like barbed nets, metallic nets, and that was to keep the bats from living there. So they have them up there. So I thought that was interesting. Just a trivia question. Looks like bats use this as a home. And rightfully so, right? It's very dark. Very good conditions for bats. I'm actually gonna go the other way. Wow. The spires, I'm not sure what you actually call them, but the spires look very reminiscent to the ones in Brambatan. Brambatan? Yeah, in Brambatan, down in Indonesia.
Okay, yeah.
Wow. How you can see the structure. The structure is just amazing. And I don't see those drainages. I don't see how the water is coming out or how they would spew out. Yeah, and here's the sign. Please do not enter or do not climb up there. So, definitely dangerous. Those steps are just not well suited for climbing. Definitely easy to slip. Yeah, I'm looking around here and I don't see where the water would flow out. Now I'm in the outer skirts of the main temple. You can see how beautiful the grass is. It just complements the surrounding area, and as you can see, there are the nagas, the serpentines, protecting the temple. Two of them on each side. This whole block is so it's so steep. I feel like if I jump, definitely twist my ankle. Oh my gosh, but yeah, wow, it's just very beautiful. The This particular wall has carvings. Not sure what they all represent, but it looks like there's a battle of sorts. You can see there's a chariot here, there's a horse, there are folks carrying arrows, and here you can see the two gentlemen are fighting. They're This guy has a sword, this gentleman has a sword. This gentleman over here looks like he has a spear, and they are fighting each other just repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly. Just, it seems like it could just be the same story over and over and over again. This sculpture is a representation of war between the Devas and the Asuras. It's 94 meters long, and it depicts a battle between the Devas and the Asuras. And it looks like the god of fire is on a rhino, and Skanda is on a peacock, and Lord Vishnu is on Garuda, which is the eagle, with 9 heads and 30 arms. Wow. Lord Shiva is on an ox cart, Lord Brahma on a swan, Surya on a horse-drawn chariot, and Viruna on a 5-headed naga. I like those nagas. I don't know why. They look really, really awesome. Whoever came up with that concept of a naga just looks so cool. I don't know why, but the way they've designed the nagas is just fascinating. Never would have thought of that. It's just like a giant hydra of sorts. Like in Greek mythology, they have the hydra. Just kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Wow. So it's just an ongoing battle of sorts, and I think that's the naga right there. I'm not sure. Looks like it. Looks like it could be the naga right there. Not sure. But yeah, this whole sculpture is just dedicated to a war. So now it has definitely brightened up. It was dark when I got here, but looks amazing with the sun out. You can see here the nagas again, and I don't know why, but I've taken a liking to that particular sculpture, the nagas. Very beautiful, I'm not sure how to fully describe it, but just looks like a very interesting figure, like a serpent with 7 heads. I'd almost like to see how it would come out with CGI or with some kind of animation or just represented in movies. I think that'd be just like very, very cool. I think one interesting thing that I've noted, and I might have said this earlier, but there are ponds here. And I also saw ponds in Mexico similar to these. So you can see that the ponds are here. I saw something similar in Mexico where they had different ponds like this in the Mexican pyramids near Mexico City, and they use the ponds to be able to track the stars. So the stars would reflect onto the ponds. They were able to build a calendar or craft a calendar using that way. But they had different ponds. They had like 5 or 6 or maybe 8 ponds in different areas, but there's a pond over there too. I wonder if there's some kind of correlation with the ancient people doing the same thing here. But it just seems like in different cultures, water is used as an apparatus to reflect the sky and be able to track the stars, or at least be able to create some kind of calendar of sorts. So now I am exiting the Angkor Wat, the main temple at least. I'm going to another temple. But yeah, that was very fascinating. I spent a few hours here. I think I got here like around 5 a.m. Well, actually I got to the ticket booth at 5 a.m. Got my ticket, and now it's about to be 8 a.m. and I've explored as much as I wanted to explore, or at least for this session. And look at this amazing view. My goodness. I was just learning about a particular legend here about the Nagas, since I am so intrigued by the Nagas, but it talks about a Hindu prince that was, I guess his ship broke down and he fell in love with one of the daughters of the Naga kings. And so I guess the Naga king was just so impressed by this gentleman, or this Hindu prince, that he drank up the entire water. And so once the Naga king drank up the water, the land of Cambodia was revealed. So that is one of the legends about how Cambodia came about. Pretty interesting, right? These Nagas over here, I think they have 5 heads. So the 5 heads represent control or power over the elements. Wow. But the beauty here, just immense. So beautiful. Wow. I've really taken a fond to the Nagas. Very cool design. One last shot of Angkor Wat. It's very beautiful. Wow. Definitely a bucket list item on my bucket. Checked off. Now I am going to another temple or another site. My tuk-tuk driver is probably out there waiting for me, asking himself, is he ever gonna come out or something? So it looks like the bathroom here is free if you have the ticket, 2,000 if you don't have the ticket, and 500 if you're a local. So now I am going to go find my tuk-tuk driver. Not sure where he's at. He told me he'd be out here waiting for me once I finished my trip here, and then we would go other places. But if you don't have a tuk-tuk driver, you can easily find one here. And they're just all over the place here. Looks like there's tuk-tuk drivers over there, over here, down the road, down this way as well. So I'm gonna be heading to another site.